Ostriches are flightless birds. They can't fly, but they can run like the wind. And today, we're going to find out why. I think we all know that ostriches are big birds. They're the largest and heaviest of any bird species on the planet. Adult ostriches typically stand about 2 meters tall and can weigh around 150 kilograms. That's roughly the same height as a human male and the equivalent of 330 apples. And their long legs help them to run up to 90 kilometers per hour. And that's faster than Usain Bolt, the world record holder for the 100-meter sprint. But ostriches aren't just fast over short distances. They can also maintain a steady pace for long periods of time. When running, their large wing muscles act like giant paddles in the air, helping them to steer and brake. Their bodies are streamlined to reduce wind resistance, and their large feet help them to keep stable and balanced. But despite being so well adapted for running, ostriches cannot fly. So why is that? To answer this question, we need to look at their ancestors. Around 23 million years ago, ostriches and their relatives were small forest-dwelling birds that could fly. Over time, they evolved and changed. Their bones grew thicker and heavier, which made them better suited for life on the ground, and their wings became smaller and weaker, which made it harder for them to fly. Eventually, they became flightless. But why did this happen? There are two main theories. The first is that ostriches evolved from a common ancestor with other flightless birds, like emus and rheas. As these birds evolved, they chose violence, becoming aggressive and territorial towards each other. This led to a deadly arms race, where the birds with bigger bodies and stronger legs had an advantage. Over time, this led to the evolution of large flightless birds like ostriches. The second theory is that when ostriches' ancestors arrived in Africa from Europe, they found a land full of large predatory mammals like spotted hyenas, African wild dogs, and lions. Flying was risky because it gave predators a chance to spot and attack them. So natural selection favored ostriches that were better at running than flying. But whatever the reason, ostriches couldn't fly anymore. But there was one problem. Although they were safe on the ground, ostriches were still vulnerable to predators. And to make matters worse, they laid eggs, which were easy targets for predators to eat. But ostriches came up with a solution. They started burying their eggs in the sand, and this helped to protect them from predators. But there was a problem with this, because ostrich eggs are really big. A single ostrich egg can be up to 15 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide, and an ostrich typically lays around 40 eggs per year. All of those eggs take up a lot of space. But ostriches managed to find a way around this problem. They formed groups called Ostrich domesticus, where several females would lay their eggs in one nest. This allowed them to spread out their egg laying over a longer period of time, which reduced the chances of predators finding all of their eggs at once. And this behavior continues to this day. Ostriches are still the only bird species on the planet that lays their eggs in groups. So, although ostriches can't fly, they have evolved many adaptations to help them survive. They have powerful legs that allow them to run up to 90 kilometers per hour. Their streamlined bodies help them to maintain a steady pace for long periods of time. And they lay their eggs in groups to reduce the chances of predators finding all of their eggs at once. But there is one thing that ostriches can do that no other bird can, and that's to jump over 6 meters in a single leap. But that is gonna have to be another story, because right now it is time for your brain break. If you enjoyed this episode, then make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more episodes like this, then subscribe to the channel. But until then, I'll see you next time.